We've covered the entirety of the Dark Souls trilogy, individually and as a whole, the decrepit gothic nightmare that is Bloodborne, and the shinobi wolf Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Now, I may be a little late to the party with this one, mainly due to the fact that I struggled to get hold of a PS5, but now I finally have one. We can look at Bluepoint's exceptional remaster of Demon Souls. From the breathtaking visuals, smooth and refined gameplay to the modernisation and quality of life improvements, Demon Souls is an outright success, but we're here specifically to focus on those awesome bosses within. So without further ado, let's count down the top 10 bosses from the PS5 launch title that is Demon Souls to see what truly stands the test of time. But just a heads up, these positions are entirely my opinion based on my own experience and contain major spoilers from here on out. First up is the very first boss encounter in Bluepoint's remaster of the FromSoftware original, Phalanx. Essentially a big blob surrounded by many little blobs, also known as hoplites. Now, although that may not seem particularly special at first glance, it's actually an extremely original concept for a boss that stands out from the entirety of the FromSoftware lineup. The encounter can be tackled in a variety of ways, be it at a distance, with fire, or just pure steel, and it's that level of freedom that makes the battle all the more rewarding. Phalanx may indeed take the 10th entry on this countdown, but that doesn't diminish the experience by any means, as it's a first boss encounter that provided a lot of fun and is viewed upon fondly by many for all the right reasons. So deservingly so, Phalanx kicks this countdown off at number 10. Next up is a boss fight that may have been replicated and expanded upon in later Souls entries, but nothing beats the original, Fool's Idol. Taking place in a desecrated church with obstacles in your way, some to your advantage and others to hers. She's an opponent that takes her time making you come to her, taking place with some unique and cryptic music. The encounter isn't the most difficult, but keeps you on your toes, from magical fields that stops you in your tracks to soul rays no matter the distance, with doppelgangers introduced as the contest advances, tipping the scales even more so in her favour. From a unique setting, an entertaining challenge, and some really compelling lore provided with this one, I have to say I enjoyed Fool's Idol very much so, earning number 9. A creepy crawly that demonstrates how punishing Demon Souls can really be early on, the Armor Spider. An encounter taking place in a tunnel-like arena unlike any other that's one of the most visually impressive bosses that Demon Souls has to offer. This arachnid comes complete with a wide variety of attacks and abilities that put your attack and evasion instincts to the test, as I can guarantee that for your very first encounter, it will always push the player to question their patience, as no matter the player's skill, even the slightest mistake can have devastating repercussions. When you take into account the clever arena design, range of attacks and abilities, the major spike in difficulty along with it being a true spectacle to the eyes, the Armor Spider may certainly seem hellish to some, but is without a doubt impressive, earning number 8. Our next entry could prove to be an absolute cakewalk, or the toughest opponent you're likely to face, Old Monk. If you're playing offline, then essentially you're facing an AI, but PvP is where the contest really lies. The interesting lore around this one presents a very different kind of confrontation, which was especially innovative for its original conception when first released, in placing another online player in the shoes of Old Monk's demon. Taking on another online player proves that no two fights will ever be the same and could potentially deliver the most exciting and entertaining challenge you're likely to face. But that ultimately comes down to the luck of the draw, yet you have to give credit to the creative idea, though this also extends to controlling the foe as well, as playing as the bad guy and attempting to ruin another's progress is ever so satisfying. It really does make you feel good to be bad. The encounter is original, creative, different, fun, and provides a lot of replay value, yet ultimately comes down to the luck of the draw, placing Old Monk at number 7. A very cool and special encounter is up next, the Storm King. The player has the choice of facing this grand foe in a variety of ways, but with a little bit of exploration, it's strongly encouraged to battle the way it was intended, with Storm Ruler thus producing a battle of so much more. You feel like a real powerhouse wielding a divine-like weapon, creating a set piece that feels extremely epic, and it's never easy to deliver that type of feeling to the player, yet FromSoftware and Bluepoint do so with ease, producing an exceptional encounter to remember. The battle tactics themselves here ultimately come down to timing, but the way everything is delivered here just feels incredible. The boss is massive, the battlefield is detailed and huge, the visual effects on display are fantastic, the music is perfect, sound effects are superb, complete with a weapon that feels ever so empowering. And if you add it all together, what do you get? An excellent experience you're never going to forget, placing the Storm King at number 6. Next up, we have an opponent who means business. This is the Penetrator. From an awesome intro, a slick and intimidating design set in an arena that proves sometimes it's the simplest of touches that make the most impact. Every stroke of this boss's blade is pure bliss to the ears and is backed up with some serious hurt if taken too lightly. His stream of combos, whilst impressive to see, take a step further and almost come across as a dance of perfect flow and rhythm, and that distance covered with every strike really makes you guess every maneuver, as there's such a narrow margin for error. I enjoyed this encounter very much. It's a real test of one's skill, and that flawless design is so good you can see why FromSoftware used the template in multiple Souls entries down the line, as they really did create an exceptional boss that stands out from the pack in a big way. The Penetrator easily takes number 5. Silence is key for the next entry, Old Hero. A strategic contest in which the boss is blind, but even the slightest disruption in sound and he'll come pouncing. Plus, if you take into account his size, he can cover quite a bit of ground, so timing is certainly key. His yellow glowing aura is unique, amplified to great effect by the dark arena creating the perfect contrast. It's quite an impressive effect. That sword hurts, multiple combos inflict major damage, and there's very little warning for his AoE attack. Striking from a distance is the way forward here, but for melee builds it's not quite so simple. A level of skill is required, and patience is an absolute must in order to get the upper hand, providing an innovative encounter to say the least. This one's intense, dangerous, invigorating and intriguing, with the PS5 definitely pushing that look and feel a major step forward from the original, producing a level of excitement that's most fondly remembered, placing Old Hero at number 4. Taking the bronze is the most renowned and iconic boss that Demon's Souls has to offer, the Tower Knight. This was and is the first colossal sized battle players encountered in a FromSoftware title. I remember that very first time years prior on the PS3, as I'd not come across anything like it, and now years later with the PS5 remake, it still gives me that feeling of astonishment, delivering players a David and Goliath scenario that never felt so good. And that's even before you take into account his high damage output and magical abilities. He really is the total package. The encounter itself also goes above and beyond, as if the towering stature of the opponent wasn't enough. The battlefield is surrounded with archers consistently taking pot shots at your every move, adding an exciting element to the already nerve-wracking encounter. From an exceptional arena layout, archers at your back, a boss that's stunning in every sense from looks, design and attacks, without a doubt produces an encounter that FromSoftware absolutely nailed. The Tower Knight is certainly iconic and renowned for a reason, deserving of the number 3 spot. Although technically not the final boss, he is the real final boss in his prime and takes the silver, Old King Allant. King Allant in his peak form isn't to be taken lightly, as he's absolutely relentless yet looks magnificent in the process. A huge arsenal of attacks and magical abilities that deal some serious damage, complete with the most evil move Demon's Souls has to offer with Soul Sucker. Taking those well earned souls away from the player is just nasty. Highly resistant to magic, and no matter your level he has a high defense, so you're going to have to give it everything you've got if you're going to have any chance of victory. The arena it all takes place in is also a feast for the eyes. It looked good anyway on the PS3, but the remastered PS5 version has so much detail that Bluepoints Games deliver the most gorgeous arena Demon's Souls has to offer. Old King Allant is hard, fast, smart, slick, tough as nails and adored by many of a Demon's Souls fan, as he provides a worthy send-off to such a cherished title, taking the number 2 spot. Taking the gold trophy as the top spot on this list is none other than Flame Lurker. The defining boss from Demon's Souls that 100% lives up to the excruciating difficulty FromSoftware games have built a reputation for. Although other bosses up to this point all have their merits in some way or another, and rightly so, they all come across as child's play when compared to the fiery demon. He will knock you down, outmaneuver you, overpower you, and have you on the edge of your seat screaming at the TV, or worse, launching that expensive controller over and over. From the presentation side of things, he already looked great on the PS3, yet Bluepoint push it to the pinnacle of perfection on the PS5. The animated flames look fantastic, the overall atmosphere is incredible, and the musical score is extremely fitting. Everything here really is top notch. For the level of skill required to overcome the encounter, the severe difficulty spike, the next level presentation, and the rewarding feeling of accomplishment if you were to succeed, Flame Lurker is most deserving of the number 1 spot, as he's so memorable even in regards to the entirety of the FromSoftware lineup even till this day, and for that overall impact felt is our best boss from Demon's Souls. So that brings us to the end of our countdown and the top 10 bosses from Demon's Souls. I apologise for this video being a little later than expected. I just struggled like many others to get hold of a PS5 on launch. But after my time with this title, it's easy to see that BluePoint Games have absolutely nailed it. They've really done FromSoftware proud, producing one of the greatest launch titles for a console ever made. If you're still here though, then that means a lot, and thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, then please remember to like, share and subscribe to the channel, as it really does go a long way and is greatly appreciated. I'll be back with some more videos in the very near future, and until next time, take care. Gavinchi out.